I'm Chronix, and this is Crystal from the Most Extreme Wrestling, and we are going to be reviewing right now the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. And
it's true. We watched this.
And wow, this came out in I think 2005 or 6. I remember
2005.
I remember when they first started advertising for it, and I was like, wow, they must really hate the Ultimate Warrior.
It was actually kind of a funny DVD because they bashed the guy so much.
Like incessantly.
They said nothing good about him.
Not one thing. Now, see, apparently the story with it, from what you looked up, was that they were going to make this, their intent was to make this DVD in conjunction with the Ultimate Warrior.
Yes, like have him help on a DVD.
And have him being interviewed.
No.
As we know that the Ultimate Warrior pretty much always does now.
He said no. So this is like WWE's FU
for him not helping out. I think the Ultimate Warrior, he kind of, I don't know, it almost seems like he feeds on people, like, he wants people to need him, and then he can be like, no, you can't have me.
I did laugh. I also laughed a lot at Christian's impression of his Hulk Hogan airplane promo.
Oh, yeah.
It was really funny. It's like spot on.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. It was an interesting propaganda film.
Yes, and I mean, it was indeed a propaganda film. Because, like you said, they didn't say one single thing good about him.
They'd be like, the Ultimate Warrior, he was good in the ring because other people made him look good.
The only really good thing about the Ultimate Warrior was his music. You know, and like everything was something else. He was good because of his music. He was good because of his look.
He was good
because of somebody else made him look good.
It was never that he did something good.
He couldn't do anything. Everyone else carried him. They had to do multiple takes of his promos. No one could understand what he was saying.
They had Bobby the Brain Heenan on there like 15 times, who really hates the Ultimate Warrior.
I don't really know what the backstory with Bobby the Brain Heenan is.
I can just tell, like, the hate, it's like coming out.
Alright, so if we're going to say it's a propaganda film, that means that we think that they're kind of lying a little bit about what they're saying.
I mean, right? I don't really know. I'm just saying that nobody's that bad.
Well, okay.
Like, to me, a propaganda film is anything that does not
It's completely one-sided.
Yes, like two sides or something. Like, it was completely, totally, Ultimate Warrior sucks. And there was nothing good about him.
Because
you
didn't help
even
with
the good things, they spun to be negative things.
Yeah, because there weren't really good things. There were other people making him look good.
So therefore,
and he wasn't grateful either.
That's why I say propaganda film. Not necessarily because I know for sure that it's not true, but because it just seemed a little skewed.
Well, this is my thing, and I know a lot of wrestling fans hate the Ultimate Warrior and agree with a lot that is said that he can't wrestle, he wasn't any good, anybody could have filled his spot, but I have to disagree with a lot of that. Like, first of all, they didn't really talk about his early career very much. His stuff in WCCW, early stuff with Sting, you know? And I don't know. It kind of just glossed over that. They're like, oh, he was called the Dingo Warrior. Isn't that stupid? That was pretty much the extent of his early career. Now, with the Ultimate Warrior, now, you could say he doesn't have very good wrestling abilities. But how could you say that and then in the same DVD be like, well, Hulk Hogan carried him? Because when you're talking about, you know, the way they were talking about his skills, about the way, you know, he was fluid in the ring. Hulk Hogan wasn't fluid in the ring. He had great psychology. And the Ultimate Warrior kind of had psychology. You know what I mean? He at least had a little bit. I mean, come on. This is my thing. You can't say that anybody could have filled the Ultimate Warrior's shoes. It was just a body, and that was it. You can't just take, like, Gangrel and be like, okay, you're the Ultimate Warrior, now make everyone in the arena cheer, you're the main event of WrestleMania, and everybody's going to love you. You can't just do that to anyone. You have to have charisma. And he has charisma. And they actually said he had charisma, didn't they? They said he had a unique charisma, I think.
I think they might have
I think that might have been the only thing that they said he had.
Maybe.
But I'm sorry. He had to have some skill to be in the main event of WrestleMania. That's all I'm saying. His promos were very weird, but people got into him. They're memorable. People got into him. People loved this man. I mean, it's true. You know, he was as popular as Hulk Hogan, or maybe even more at some points. You know, he had all this stuff. And he had a marketable look, and he wasn't in the business that long, and people still remember him.
True.
They still know him. You know, it's not all about the Bret Hart wrestling ability. Sometimes it's just about marketability and connecting with the crowd, and it's something that he does, and still to this day, people care about him. His YouTube show, talking crap about Hulk Hogan, all this kind of stuff, it's still interesting today, and the guy is smart. He's smart. You can tell. You ever watched his show where he's talking about stuff? He seems to be pretty smart. He is a little bit nutty, but if we're going to compare Hulk Hogan and dude, I think Hulk Hogan's a little bit crazy too. Now, they didn't show very many matches on this, which I didn't like. It was only one disc, but this is kind of an earlier WWE type release where they didn't put as many matches and that kind of stuff. So, I guess you can give it a pass there. But besides anything else, it's an ultimate burial. That's all it is.
True.
I mean, really, they could have said something positive. They were just butthurt because he couldn't appear on their DVD, and that's basically it. So, oh, and I'm sure Ultimate Warrior doesn't like this DVD.
I wouldn't like anything.
He sued him.
Well, yeah.
Defamation of character.
I think that is what he sued him for.
Yes.